Welcome to WhoDooTV, everyone. Today we have a special video. We were at the Image Expo 2018 and we got to go to the private press conference with Robert Kirkman to announce his new book, Oblivion Song. This is the only video that was there for this press conference, so we're pretty privileged to put this out. So we hope you enjoy. Leave some comments below. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to have more videos of this expo to come. Thank you.
You are now watching WhoDooTV.
Oblivion Song is the story of a fellow named Nathan Cole. He exists in, what is essentially modern-day Philadelphia. The only difference between this world and the world of Oblivion Song is that a large chunk of the city of Philadelphia was transposed with a large chunk of another dimension called Oblivion, and it took 300,000 people with it. And over the course of 10 years, the government, with the help of Nathan, who's a scientist, kind of figured out what had happened and the fact that those people were lost in a dimension, and they formed like a little strike team with Nathan to go into Oblivion and rescue people. And there was a very big, very expensive rescue operation that was ran for many years, but as time went on, they started rescuing fewer and fewer people, so they pulled the funding, shut the program down, but Nathan keeps his equipment running with like a shoestring budget and does everything on his own. And even though the project's been shut down, he keeps going into Oblivion day after day to keep trying to save people, because it's something that's very important to him. The idea of somebody being lost in that dimension is something that he can't allow, and so he risks his livelihood and risks getting arrested and risks his life to save people. So that is Oblivion Song, which comes out March 7th. Anybody got any questions? Sure.
Having never put out anything that's massive, what's it like, and I say that completely as a joke,
Sure.
being iconic, really?
Tell me more.
Dead and your other books. Seriously,
Okay.
How, you probably get tons of ideas thrown at you, you probably come up with tons of ideas. It seems to me that you sift through and you pick the good ones, as I've already reviewed this book, and it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
How do you stay on that wave, if you will, of just finding those ideas that seem to reach out to people, seem to light up the book?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an intangible thing. I have a lot of different ideas. I have a lot of projects going on. So what tends to happen is, 2 or 3 times a month, I'll have some kind of a dumb nugget for some kind of new idea. And, I have a note, file on my phone, and I keep, this is a story idea I may come back to. And I can't really get to them right away because I have so much stuff going on. So what happens is, over time, ideas will keep coming back up, and I'll keep adding to them until I eventually have time to do them. And that, I guess, makes the cream rise to the top, so to speak. And so, Oblivion Song is an idea that I had, I want to say, at least 10 years ago. And I just, never got around to actually being able to do it. And so I just kept adding to it and changing things and, moving things along. And, by the time I got around to doing it, it was a, pretty well-rounded concept. But the things that excite me, the things that interest me right now seem to excite and interest an audience. I will eventually lose touch, and I will come out with all kinds of new projects that I'm very excited about that no one is excited about. And that's when I'll go back to doing Battle Pope. But for now, I'm just going to try and ride this wave as long as it lasts.
With a book like Oblivion Song, it seems the worlds all seem very big. There are lots of places to go, as opposed to some of the character-driven stuff that that you're doing right now with Walking Dead. Does it actually give you more energy, more excitement to kind of push out further away from a central city or a central town? Things like that. What does that do when you're sitting down and you're writing? And you just feel that energy, I can go any direction I want to go with this particular story.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that you want to do with a new concept is, ideally you want to have a story engine. I mean, that's why network television shows work the way they work, because the whole idea is to come up with a narrative that generates its own story. This is a cop that goes after donuts, and then, there's a new donut every week, and they're always going after donuts. It's great, And so, especially with something like Oblivion Song, like it's a pretty dense world that has a lot of places, that I can go, and there's different monsters and different conflicts and different things that I can focus on, which keeps me interested in the property, which is good. But losing my train of thought, forgetting where I was going.
Just
this is very embarrassing.
I'm
very sorry.
The available areas that you can go in Oblivion.
Yeah. But so like my thing is. The thing that interests me the most is the interpersonal drama stuff. Like I'm very focused on like Nathan and Heather's relationship in Oblivion Song, and Duncan and Bridget, and what's going on with them, and how their lives are going to work, and the backdrop is really just to make those things interesting. So everything I do with Walking Dead, with Invincible, like I just want to write really heartfelt scenes of people drinking tea together. But those comics wouldn't sell, so every now and then a monster's got to bust through a wall, and so I feel like as many opportunities as possible that you have to have a monster bust through a wall, your story is better. So Oblivion Song has a lot of opportunity for monsters to be busting through walls and other dimensions and cars. It's gonna be cool.
So we reviewed this video. We did a video on this already. And loved it. The character, the way you develop a character, and give Nathan's story right away. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And I remember reading that you sent out the letter to the retailers about your work that you put on this and the effort you put into it.
Yeah.
Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just, I don't know. I feel like this is one of the most well-rounded series I've done, just because we did work on things behind the scenes for so long. And it's something that I've kind of picked up working in film and television because, while some blockbuster movies are getting their effects done right to the last minute, most of the time when we're, doing The Walking Dead, I mean, we're about to launch the back half of season 8. We finished filming that in November. We had almost the entire season written by summer of last year. There's just a tremendous amount of work that's done, and that doesn't mean that people aren't scrambling and things aren't, stressful from time to time. But everything is done so far in advance that there's a lot of runway for accidents to happen and for delays and things like that, which is, it's very professional, it's very convenient, and it's something that we don't often do in comics. Rob Liefeld famously quoted, all the books in the '90s, they went into the stores wet, like the ink wasn't dry on them yet, And that's very true, but I think that trying it in a different way with Oblivion Song has really I feel like improved the book to a certain extent, because working with Lorenzo De Felici and Annalisa Leone so far in advance, we did the first issue. We got the first issue colored. We did the second issue. We did the third issue. We did the fourth issue. As I was finishing that arc, I was like, hey. Be kind of cool if there was this 2-page scene here and this 2-page scene here. And so I started adding pages to issue 1 and a couple pages to issue 3, just to tie everything in, make it seem like I'm smarter and, we're layering things a little bit better than I actually was. And it makes for a better product. I mean, it's almost like doing reshoots for a movie and coming in and, I can tighten this scene if I move this, and I can make this scene better if they have this scene beforehand. And it's really been something that I'm probably going to incorporate in my work more often, moving forward. But it's also given us a lot of leeway marketing wise, because Lorenzo and I were able to sit down for a few weeks and go, okay, draw this art that we're just going to use in an ad, and draw this for a poster, and we're going to do this, and our strategy's here, and we're going to pull this art from issue 7 and use this for this, and we've got this for me, and we had like this breadth of, multiple issues done to use for marketing, and also, I mean, to be completely honest, I have a much better understanding of the story because I've written substantially more of it, so it's a little bit easier to talk about, although I haven't quite distilled the concept into a 20-second nugget. It's still pretty unwieldy, so I should be better at that. But I mean, I just feel like all around it's been a much better process.
Where you are in your career with your body of work, and you created a new book like Oblivion Song, are you still able to pull in personal references and personal stories to character development and scenes, or is a lot of it now just the hard work of creating those moments?
Yeah, I mean, I still have, I still have conflict. I still have drama in my life. I mean, I wouldn't be able to work if I wasn't experiencing some things that I could pull into my work. I mean, it's, you know, it's not just, you know, silver spoons and lounging by a pool. I mean, you know, there's some, you got to have interesting things happening in your books. Yeah, I think that, you know, that's a very, you know, important thing. I mean, there has to be a certain percentage of me in the book so that there's a humanity to the story, and you know, I guess some level of believability comes from the fact that I've experienced certain things about that, and you know, that all gets into like relatability and things where you know, even though I've got, you know, massive monsters chasing people and things like that, you know, you want to be able to you know, do things. You know, it's a monster, so that's not something that's relatable, but you know, this is somebody that's fearing for their life. It's somebody that's trying to survive. I mean, that's something that we can all understand. So yeah, I try to pull that stuff from, you know, any and all sources available. Most of the time, we're just faking it. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what else is next for Skybound?
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, this is a tough question because I don't often know exactly which stuff is public and which stuff isn't. But we've got a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, we started an animation division a while ago that's been working in secret on some cool animated stuff, and so that's, you know, that'll be public at some point. We've got you know, a lot of cool stuff going on in the video game space. You know, we're working on a lot of film and television stuff that'll be announced at some point soon, and we're doing a lot of comics. I mean, it is a comic book company at its core, and you know, we value our partnership with Image. You know, we're not a publisher; we're just a part of Image, you know, I think that you know, we've got some great stuff coming up. Daniel Warren Johnson just wrapped up Extremity, and he's got a very cool project that he's working on for us that I'm very excited about. You know, we've got you know, Horizon is ramping up. Evolution is going strong. That's a really exciting new book. Gasolina, written by Sean Makowitz, drawn by Nico Walter, is you know, it's a really strong you know, horror sci-fi book that's really cool. Thief of Thieves will be coming back at some point soon. That's probably something I'm not supposed to say. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff on the horizon for us. The sky is the limit, they say.
Hey, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below.
There's also that subscribe button down there too. Make sure you punch that. We'd appreciate it. Follow us at Twitter at WhoDooTV, also on Facebook.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank our friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. Be sure to check them out. They got all sorts of nerdy stuff on there.
Links down in the description. Thank you for watching WhoDooTV. We appreciate you guys.